Hey guys, so I am home today. My dad is on a cruise, which means I can't use his YouTube studio for a few weeks. But that's okay, it's fun to do it at home too. But I have an idea and I don't know how this is gonna work, and maybe it'll be the worst idea I ever had, or maybe it'll be the best idea in the world. Probably somewhere in the middle. But I want to be a junk journal for Halloween. I was brainstorming with my kids on what they wanted to be for Halloween, and the idea just popped in my head that I could be a junk journal. So I'm gonna make a costume and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking so far. I'm gonna use this pencil that my 7-year-old ate the eraser off of, because that is literally the only kind of pencils we have around here, because I don't know why he doesn't know how to not eat the eraser. But that's another problem. For now, let's focus on the problem of Halloween. So let's just kind of roughly sketch out. This is me. I'm thinking that I will get 4 poster boards, and I'll put one in front of me. Here's the back of me, and then one behind me. And here's my little legs, just so that we get a full picture. I do have an art degree, can't you tell? I'm really good at realistic faces. So if we have 2 poster boards here and somehow I kind of connect them so that there is a spine kind of around here, and I guess they're gonna have to be a hole or something for my hand, or maybe my hands can come up here. I'm working out the details still, but I'm hoping to attach a second layer of a poster here so that it can kind of swing open, and so the book will be openable, and maybe I'll have some sort of closure right here, and then the back as well will open and then close. So we'll put some sort of elastic here and have it loop around, or I guess it will be this way. Yep, this is getting really awesome. So this will open, we'll have a closure thing, some elastic or ribbon that will hold on to the front and keep it closed, but when I want to, I can open it up and be a junk journal. I was also thinking that I can go to the thrift store or kind of look at some old clothes I have and wear kind of like different pants so that it looks a little bit hodgepodgey and mixed up, and either wear a shirt that has a lot of texture or lace or something fun, or, you know, chop off different sleeves so that it looks kind of different. Who knows, something like that. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to be wearing a ponytail, and I'm gonna have to have lots of danglies and charms in my hair, because that would be a missed opportunity if I didn't include that. So here is my grand concept, and maybe when I actually get working on this, it'll be like way different than I think, and I'll have to make some modifications. But we're just gonna go with this for now. So I think the first step is to find some poster board, right? So I should probably go to the craft store and pick out probably 5 of the foam core or some kind of matte thick poster boards, 2 for the front, 2 for the back, and then a 5th one to kind of create the spine and then the other part of the book. I'm not sure exactly what to do on that part yet. We'll figure it out. Need to make a box, need it to swing open. Let's just start with that and we'll go from there. So come along, let's go to the craft store. So I made it to Hobby Lobby, which is pretty much my go-to store. I love Hobby Lobby. I've always said that if I could get stuck in one store for the rest of my life and I could never leave, I would choose Hobby Lobby. And I would wander each aisle and just imagine the possibilities of my home and all the projects I could do. Even if I never did them, just the potential is enough to keep me happy forever. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm thankful. That could be mine. So I really think this is cute, and none of those colors are part of my house decorations. So I'm pretty sure I have to redecorate my whole house so I can just like buy this whole shelf. I changed my mind. My new house theme is coral, and I'm changing everything that I own to this. I lied. Rose is prettier. Let's do this. This is who I am inside from now on. Or at least that's what I thought until I found these blues. See, telling you, so much potential. Who could I be? This could be my house. I could be like a person with a pretty house. I could just buy everything in this store. But that's not why we're here. We're here for poster board. So my house dreams will have to wait yet again. So we've got, oh, I just assumed I would get white. Should I get a color? Maybe blue? Okay, here's an update. I picked out some poster boards that looked good, but then I went to the framing section and they have these that are just like supposed to go in the back of the frame, which is what I need. I don't need a nice poster. And they're like half the price. So I'm gonna pick out 4 of these. Okay, have what I need. we're just gonna start with the poster boards and move from there, because I just know that if I get anything else, then my ideas will change. So we gotta take this one step at a time. So far, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I got my stuff. I got 4. I was gonna get 5 because for the side things, but these are long, so I know I'm gonna trim the bottoms of them. So I'll just use the bottom extra pieces for the side pieces because that won't matter. So feeling good about it. So I got my foam core poster boards, and I'll go home. And should we decorate one of the pages today? That would be fun. I think that's what I want to do first, because it's fun, and you should always do the fun thing first, because you need that, like, you know, energy in the beginning to actually get you started. So let's get going and get ready for another travel sequence. Like the first travel sequence, look how fancy I'm getting. Like a real, like, little video maker. Just try not to kill anybody in the parking lot. So let's talk dimensions now, because things have changed a tiny bit. So let's go back to the drawing board. This scale is off. That is like huge, and I'm not that short and squatty. So if this is me and I am like probably, I don't know what a real proportion is. Hi, my name is Kate and I make junk journals. So if this is me and I start it somewhere here, it's really only gonna cover my torso like that. So I'm gonna have a lot more leg and a lot more arm than I thought I would, which is actually fine, because then I can have more fun with those. Maybe I can wear a lot of crazy jewelries and sew frills and whatever. We'll get to that after the box is done. And then we'll clasp it there, and I'll have my hair and a ponytail, lots of dangles and charms, really floofy stuff. Okay, I think that's a tiny bit more accurate, and kind of help me kind of visualize that I will have a lot of body, and it's not just going to be me behind a huge junk journal. So like I said, we'll address that later, and I'll kind of keep brainstorming. If you have any fun ideas of stuff to add, please tell me. I would love some input and some ideas. I've got ideas for this part and this part, but this part is like just a world of possibilities. Okay, so this is the size of the book, but it's way too tall, so let's cut it. And I think if I have it like here and cut it to be just a little more square. When books are slightly more square, don't they just seem like cuter and chubbier and sweeter? So I think I will do that. I'll cut it about here, and that's not too weird, right? And maybe that would like be easier for me to sit down. No, I'm not gonna be able to sit down in my, if it's down to here, I'm gonna be like, ugh! There will be no sitting on Halloween for me. That's okay, it's a price I'm willing to pay. So let's make that line right now and chop these down. Okay, this is huge, so I don't really know how to get the whole thing in the camera angle. I've kind of pushed in where I think I want it right here, and then I'm just gonna take another poster board and kind of try to line up the edge so that this will be straightish. Make sure the other side seems semi-even over there. And then find my pencil, because I'm always losing pencils and pens. We'll grab a different one. Same problem, but different pencil, and just make a line right there. So now here is where we need to cut. Problem is I have no idea how to cut this. I should probably use like a knife and a ruler. That is what I should do. Let me go get a knife. So I got that, and we'll bust out some sewing supplies. Hopefully this is long enough. Oh yeah, this is totally gonna work. So let's just line that sucker up right there. Actually, I'm gonna do it on this side, because then I can kind of see over here if it is even. Hold it down. This is not a cutting tutorial. I repeat, this is not a cutting tutorial. However you think you should cut it, that is probably better. But my little free heart is gonna do this. Okay, how did that? That's pretty good. We just have to cut it through the very bottom. So I'll just maybe do this and see. Put that down. There we go, look! A cut edge, I did it! So we'll save this to kind of help build up the sides, and we'll just do it again. Okay, we'll put that there. Just kind of use that, and hopefully not cut through both of the posters. Did that cut? Yeah, look, that did even better than the first time. Those look sort of the same, so let's grab another one. Okay, last side right here. Cut it down. Perfect, we did it. So I cut all 4 boards, and let's see how this looks. Now it's a little bit more square, and we'll have the 2 in front, 2 in the back. They'll be connected, you know, I'll probably put string over my shoulders or something to keep it on me. And then I will make some sort of covering on the side. Probably make it look like the ends of a book. I don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna think of ways. Maybe if I like put a bunch of tissue paper there, or make little bumps, or I don't know. And then this will be the spine, and I will just probably wrap big fabric around the back and around the side like I like to do in my normal journals. And then again, we'll have 2 in the front so that we'll have some sort of clasp, and then we'll be able to open me. And there'll be a spread in the front and a spread in the back. And I don't know if I'm gonna have everything like make writing space or pre-write stuff or make it look like a journal that someone has, or if I'm going to maybe leave it blank and have a marker and let people sign it or write a note, which is probably what I'll do, because doesn't that sound like fun? That sounds like really fun. And how much time do I have? Should we start decorating one? Let's start decorating one. We can't wait till next week. Let's do it now. Good morning. So yesterday my phone ran out of storage space and I had to stop recording. So I had to pause. It was so cute yesterday. Now I'm just gonna be in my pajamas because I don't feel like getting ready to do this and I wanna get working on it. So I'm gonna keep going on, and what I've kind of thought of doing today is kind of mainly putting all the pieces to make just the back of the paper, and that's it. So I'm going to start with the board and probably rip a bunch of paper and put it all on the back so that it looks like kind of one background. So I have a bunch of neutral colors here, and I thought that I could just kind of make the background and then we can put some bright and happy stuff on top. I don't know, maybe we'll make the other pages more colorful, but this is just the paper I had on hand that kind of blends together. I'm not gonna be using fancy glue for this. I'm gonna just be using some washable Elmer's glue. And I'm gonna start by just kind of tearing a piece off and gluing it down. And I'll try to line it up as best I can to that side. So far, so good. Okay, I'm gonna take this music sheet kind, and same thing, except for I'm gonna just tear off a tiny little bit of this edge so that it's not a straight edge here and it's not ruining my look. I don't know, we're just doing this flying by the seat of our pants. Do whatever my heart tells me. So if I want this in the middle, I think I'll probably glue this down first so that this can be the top layer on both. So let's glue this one. Then we'll just do this whole sheet. Okay, glued the crap out of that thing. I am an over gluer, so that's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna glue the crap out of everything, especially the edges, so that way everything lays nice and flat, and I'm not gonna have any of these edges popping up. Looking good so far. Here, I'll flip it around so that you can see what I'm doing. So we'll just glue these guys down. See if I can line up that edge. So there is like a tiny bit of white, which kind of bugs me, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it because there are solutions. Okay, we'll just rip 2 little edges off of this. And I'm gonna tear this way so that the white is on the little extra pieces, because I don't really want there to be, you know, white like that, because then it will pop a little bit more. As blendy as I can, we're just gonna blend, blend, blend. Okay, so now I need to make a decision. I could either make the pocket come up a little higher than that and cover that way, or I could lift it up here and put something across the bottom. I think I'm gonna do this and have the pocket cover that. Or maybe I'll put like a little strip of this. I'm just gonna line up those 2 edges, I think. Let's rip these edges though. Okay, let's do our last paper, and then we'll have the whole back of this page covered. Make sure I'm putting the music the right way. Smooth that sucker down. We've got our back of this all done. This will be a nice base, and then it won't look like postery, but it'll have that kind of textured look, which I love so much. Okay, let's think about how we're gonna do the pocket. I'm probably gonna just do 2 12 by 12 papers, maybe? I kind of want it wider than that though. Let's see how that looks. Let's just find some papers and then we'll go from there. One step at a time. So I definitely want to use like bright, happy, fun, cute colors so that it looks like one of my junk journals. I feel like I want it more like this size. So I think I'm going to combine 2 here, because like that just doesn't look as full and good. That's not a big enough pocket to put as many variety of tags kind of peeking up all over the front. So let's do something like this. I wonder if I can match these up enough to where it kind of blends better. Look at that. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room past that line to glue, and I'll just crease that, pinch that nice and tight. We'll just rip along that line, blop some glue there, and then I'm even gonna, on this side, the underside, go right along the edge just so that the edges are glued, and then it will be just like really flushed on there. Look at that, it looks pretty good. Let's tear off this little perforated edge. I want this to be able to fold up, which, you know, this is too floppy. I need this to be stiffer. So let's get some stiff paper. I need a matching set. So let's see. Oh, I have 2 of those. Yay! And this will be nice because then when we open it up, then we can have people write little messages on there. Still trying to figure out what that will be like, but oh my gosh, I just had a thought. Of course this is gonna happen. I knew I couldn't make this as simple as I wanted to. Let's just do it straight up like this. So there's that line, and we'll glue this, and we'll have a little side pocket here. And that's not too much. If I have that and a pocket, that's not gonna like fall out. That's secure, that's simple, nothing's rolling out. And then it kind of adds some more playful and fun. And you know, we do want it to look like one of my journals. It has a million layers and secret pockets. So we'll start with this one. Just have a glue party. This is like already turning out way better than I thought it would. It's like making me so excited because I had this idea and I'm like, that is kind of a weird idea and I don't know if I can do it. But also I know that when I'm a junk journal for Halloween, everyone will be like, what are you? And I'll say a junk journal and they'll say, what the heck is a junk journal? Which will be a perfect opportunity for me to introduce more people to the wonderful world of junk journaling. This one, I'm just trying to get as much as I can to match what's behind it. Okay, so now I'm like burning through these glue sticks, but luckily I have a big pack. So I'm going to glue here, here, and here. Okay, uh-oh, I should not have used that because now there's glue here. So I think what I'm gonna just do is glue a little piece of paper right there so that it covers that. Let's re-glue it a little bit. The glue is drying. So yeah, so if I didn't do that, if I didn't cover up the glue, which I should have just glued over something else, then it would have glued right here and wouldn't be able to be open. And then when we stick some sort of great big tag in there, it'll go in like that. So now we need, this is gonna flop open somehow. So I need to create a bottom piece for this, and then we're gonna create a pocket for more tags to go in. And so if we open that and put that there, yeah, I actually like that. Brings a lot of color still. Okay, let's do that. I need to measure to where this is gonna be the same length as this top one. Just kind of mark it, glue bottom all the way to the edge, kind of up close to that line, but I don't want to go all the way to the line. I don't want it to spill out. This one I'll flip over and go all the way to the edge. We can put those together. We'll go with that. This is pretty wimpy feeling, so I want to put something on the back of it, and it doesn't matter how it looks because I won't see it. Okay, I'm going to use these papers because they're just a little bit sturdy, and I'll just glue them all up. Smooth it down, and that just makes it so much sturdier. And then we'll do this side. See if I can line this one up. Okay, that is much more rigid. To put these two papers together to be able to flap, I guess I could have like a ribbon across that I glue both sides that makes a hinge, or I could do 2 different papers. Let's look at the ribbon I have. So let's go with this one. Try it out. Okay, we're gonna get my Fabri-Tac for this just because I need it to be a really strong hold. I need it to be able to glue the fabric down. So I'm gonna put that almost to the edge, but I don't want it to peek out of the edge, so it'll be just ever so slightly shorter than the edge, and cut that there. Before I glue this on, I just thought I should probably ink the edges of this because it will be easier now when they're separate pieces. So I'm going to use my speckled egg and just brush all the edges, get rid of those little white things peeking out, and then it also just adds this really nice hint of blue. It does add some more dimension as well. And then we'll flip it over and do it on this side as well. And it's very subtle, but it makes a big difference. So we've got that inked, that side inked. Go ahead and do the bottom. And I don't need to ink this side because no one will ever see it. So now let's get that lace back on there. And I'm gonna use my Beacon Fabri-Tac, and I'm just gonna do it along the top first. Swirl a little piece and stick that on there. And I'm gonna do a little less than halfway up. And this is important to be strong, because if this can't hold, then my costume won't function. But this is not the only way that we're gonna reinforce this. I'm gonna go around the back as well. We're gonna make this so strong that I couldn't rip it if I tried. So now same thing on the bottom. So I'll show you on this side so you see what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to glue them, here I'll just keep it on this side so it's easier to see. I'm not gonna glue them right up against each other. I'm gonna glue them like that. And then that will give me kind of, you know, hinge room to where it will just fold over a little easier and a little better. So swirling that glue, bringing it almost together, leaving a little space. And this is actually super hard to see, so I'm gonna try to do it kind of quickly, and then while the glue is still kind of slippery, which isn't long, this glue dries pretty fast, I'll flip it over. Let's see what that is doing on that side. Pull it down a little bit more. Okay, smooth it down. It's pretty much dry already. So now we're going to put the top together. Because we want to make this like indestructible, I'm gonna pull out the big guns and use some Tyvek. Just because I'm nervous that I'm gonna get extra creative and start making this really heavy. So I want to be able to, you know, let myself do that. So I'll just cut out a strip and have it be just a little bit shorter than this. I'm gonna fold that down. Now this is not gonna be the top layer. I'm gonna put something else on top of it. Let me trim this to where I can't see any red, just in case I wanna do something that's not super thick or a little bit translucent. But this Tyvek is like hard to rip. And it's just a priority mail envelope. I got it at the United States Post Office for free. Just swirl some glue. And with this super strong Fabri-Tac glue and this Tyvek, I can really put a lot on there and it's gonna not tear that off. It might rip in other ways, but these two papers will not ever be disconnected. Okay, I'm gonna line up my crease that I made. Okay, let's figure out what we're gonna put to cover that. Maybe more lace. That's kind of cute. So I do want to cover that, which won't take much. It might be nice if we inked it though. Might look better. So I think that will work nicely. Okay, and then we're just gonna swirl the glue. And I'm watching that top to make sure it's kind of even across. Okay, look at this. I'm so excited. Okay, let's put this on here. And I'm gonna use my Fabri-Tac again. It's like a race. Quick before the glue dries. This is so much space to glue. I'm used to little pockets, not ginormous pockets. Okay, let's stick this on here. I want it to be just ever so slightly more toward this way because this is my spine and I'm not exactly quite sure how I'm gonna connect those edges yet. Oh my gosh, you guys. Is this the world's biggest junk journal page? Maybe it is. This is super fun and it looks so cool. So I do not quite trust the glue that's on here. So what I think I'm gonna do to make sure it is super strong, I'm gonna get some string and grab my awl. I'm gonna poke some holes and make them even, probably like an inch. So let's do this much so far. Poke those holes all the way through. Oh my gosh, poking this foam core is super satisfying. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my string because I don't want to deal with like a big lumpy knot on the back page, and because it will blend in with that lace, I think I'm gonna keep the knot on this page. So I'll just make that knot nice and thick, and let's sew this. I'll just start with this side, so I'm gonna go down first so that my knot's on this side, and then I'll just follow the holes. So normally I don't have my stitching an inch apart, but because this is a giant one, I want it to look, you know, like a giant stitch. Okay, then we'll go along the bottom. Okay, let's sew this bottom part up. Okay, we'll go up the side. And then I'm gonna glue these knots just for good measure. Okay, ta-da! So we've got, I'm gonna stick this in here. This is not the tag I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna stick this in here just so that we can remember that that will be a tag. And then we have a big pocket here. This is going so much better than I even thought it would. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and thanks for joining me in my adventure. If you have any ideas, I would love input, I would love ideas. And well, I'm not sure how big of a trend this is gonna be or catch on. If you do make a junk journal inspired by this tutorial or any of my tutorials, then I would love to see it. You can email me at katesjunkjournals@gmail.com or just tag me on Instagram at katesjunkjournals. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love it if you would share my video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I cannot wait to see you next week. This is so fun. So Hobby Lobby is like not that far from my house, and I have a lot of travel footage, so I think I maybe got a little bit carried away with the whole traveling sequence, but